Hello, this is Judy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working on the Fresh Paint collection from Close to My Heart. And I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be doing because it's a great collection. It's so fun and colorful for teens, or maybe your layouts way back when, because it's retro kind of feeling. So fun. So in the kit, you get these little acrylic pieces, and look at those little fire things and a happy face and hearts and stars and arrows. It's so cute. And then your photo protectors, and look at the wings. These are laser cut wings. There's 2 in here. They're so cool. And let's see, here are the layouts that come with the scrapbooking collection. Now, I'm not going to be doing this one right now in this video. I'm going to do some other layouts. I just wanted to show the collection itself. So the sticker sheet is so much fun. I really love it. It's all those colors that are so bright and cheery and just makes you happy looking at them. And look at this paint wash. Oh my gosh. And this heart paper. Yes, I've used this a few times and I really love it. And it's on a gray background, but does it look dingy? No, it looks so bright. I love it, especially the yellow. Yellow is my thing. So you get 2 of each sheet, and then you have this speckled effect with the nectarine and the lemonade, and on the back is that blue paint drip, and the zip strip is happy. And then this one, oh, this is so cool. I can see doing this for my granddaughter's teenage pages, and this for my husband's race car pages. So lots of great uses. So here are the laser cuts for this particular workshop, and here are the backdrop for those wings if you want to use them. Of course, you could make them, fill it in with anything you want. And I could see using sequins or beads. It's just so many things you can do with those wings. But yeah, it's awesome. So here's another laser cut, and this one is the pie shape, and it's just so cool. And you have like a starry galaxy background with the different colors of speckles. And another one. And then you have the white one with the speckles with all the colors. There's a lot in this kit. And then you get just cardstock. And you got nectarine, lemonade, the bluebird, the clover, the red, and the white daisy. Look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? They're just so bright into your colors that we like to use. Okay, so I'm going to get some things going, and I'll show you what I have. Real quick, this is the stamp set I'm going to use, and it's the Fresh Paint scrapbooking stamp set, and it has a paint drip type texture stamp you can use, and a lot of cool little sayings, and the star is like an ombre effect that, it's just really cool, and the heart and this star as well. So yeah, it's a really unique stamp set. So this is what I've come up with so far. Got some photos that my husband dug out from somewhere, because I thought I had done them all from when he raced way back when he had this car. And yeah, so this is the perfect paper for him. So what I did was I took my scraps, and on the back of this is that chalkboard type effect paper. And I got a bunch of these thin cuts to stamp, just to add some stars and hearts and everything. And all these are his competitors that he raced against, so it's good memory for him. So I didn't have enough of this paper to put a whole piece behind here, so I put some black cardstock down, and then I've got a blue piece to go through the middle, and an orange one to go through the middle of that, because it's kind of like his car colors. And then the checkered one to go down here and at the top, so it looks like it goes all the way down. And I had just enough to do the same thing over here this one was just cut a little bit short, so I got another piece and I'm just going to piece it there. Let's see if that fit better. I could do either way, but this is going to be my journaling. I'm going to put a piece of white over top of that and add some journaling lines, and maybe with the names of the racers that were in these photos so that he can put them down there and remember. And that's going to kind of cover that up, so hopefully not much of it will show. So I'm going to have the big photo here, and I'll probably put this little one here. And I will have to make use of some flip flaps for these. I can trim them down so that they fit a little bit better. Make them 3 by 3.5 by 3 by 4, 3 by 5, 3 by 4. Yeah, I think that's the size that I have. And so I've got 4 and 3. So I could actually have a journaling box here, or maybe I could put a car facing that way so that it keeps your eye from going off the page, because all these cars are facing the same direction, and I don't want them facing off the page because that's the way your eye's going to go. Now this one will be facing into the double page layout, so I'm okay with that, but I'll have to have one facing that way, or an arrow or something to stop your eye from going off the page. It's something it bothers me, so it's something that I try to avoid. I want to do some of the rock and roll stamping and some ombre stamping, so I have a whole bunch of them here that I can use those effects on. Use my scrap cardstock to cut these out. Some of them are thicker than others, but yeah, I ran them all through with 2 pieces of paper, so I just want to make sure I don't have any. I can't tell you the number of times I put an embellishment down and then once I lift it away and it would come off and there'd be a white one underneath it because I didn't peel the second layer from the first one. Yeah, at least I have caught them. There may be some still in my scrapbooks I haven't caught, right? They could be, you know, someone will take it out 20 years from now and there'll be a white embellishment with nothing on it. And the colored one will be at the bottom of the page. All right, so I also have some stars here. These are the fun, really big fun stars. And then there are some of these little, look like speech bubbles or speech clouds, but they're actually circles. So let's get these out. So I've got the star already mounted. I've not used any of these stamps yet. When a stamp comes off the manufacturing line, it has like a little coating on it, and it keeps the ink from sticking to it really well. So you want to remove that little coating by, sometimes you'll rub it on your skin. I don't like to do that because my skin is usually dirty and greasy from working on the farm. I've used very fine sandpaper. I've used the rub and remove eraser, this. You can rub that off like this. That's probably one of my favorite ways. And then just ink it and stamp it, and ink it and stamp it a few times, and so you get a good impression, and that's really all you need to do. But yeah, how many times have you taken one out, inked it and stamped it and said, oh, it's not a very good impression? Well, that's because you didn't season it. I love the color palette in this collection. It's all these fun primary colors, except for the pink and the capri, the flamingo and capri. But that's okay. They're very beautiful. The only one missing, I think, is grape, right? But that's okay. So let's see. We'll do the lemonade. And I'm going to do, let's do ombre stamping. So I'm going to do the top. Oh, and I've got to season it, so I'm going to stamp it on some scrap paper. And we can just do the whole one that way. And I'll practice some ombre just to get myself into the groove here. So that looks good. A couple of spots are missing. And I could flip this over to get a better cushion too, because it is a big stamp. So I might do that when I get done with this. It's a little better. Okay, now for the ombre look, you stamp it or get it inked up with the lemonade, and then you're going to take it and do the bottom up to the middle, maybe a little bit there, and get that orange going on there. We'll see how this goes. Ooh, like that. Okay, so that one came out really good. I'm gonna flip my Versamat over because on the back side is this really nice, it's a very firm cushion, but it's perfect for stamping. And then just do half of it, put it where you can see it really good. Half of it with the orange. Oh, I can see one there. See how they hide behind each other? All right. Now, if it sticks to my stamp, I'm going to turn it over and press it with my fingers to make sure I get a lot of ink on there. I like how it does that sometimes, so I can make sure I get all the ink in all the areas. All right, really pretty. All right. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of these. Well, maybe I'll just do 2. I'll save some for another page. So I'll do it again. We're going to ink it up with the lightest color first, and then we're going to go in with the orange or your secondary color in half of it. Okay, so I like both of them, and now we'll move on to the circles. Okay, now I'm going to go for these little circles here, and we're going to do a rock and roll technique. That's what it's close to my heart calls it, but we'll season the stamp first. Go. So we stamp it onto the Capri, and it doesn't look like I have a good inking there. Kind of see it gets light right there in the middle. That looks better. And now you take your darker one, and you're going to go just around the edge of your stamp in a circle. So you see you have the darker color around the outside. So let's see how this looks. Again, if I get it stuck to my stamp, I'll keep it there. Good. Press down, get a good ink impression. Ooh, it's really cool, right? Let's do it again. So we're going to go with the Capri all over. And then the bluebird around the edge. This works really good on these solid type images. And if you go a little bit in, you can get just a little bit more blue in certain areas. Maybe we'll get like a second generation stamping on it. That looks all right. I'm okay with that. Looks good. Now I'm going to use our white jelly roll, and it's a 0.08. To add a journaling line around my black base. I'm gonna warm it up, make sure it's rolling. And I'm just gonna draw it down, and these pens you don't want to press down on, you just hold it lightly and let the ball roll. If you press too hard, sometimes it hinders the ball from rolling and letting the ink out. Gonna run off of the Versamat. And the more I find that I do this, dragging my hand down to get a straight line or an imperfectly straight line, the better I am at it. And the more accepting I am too of the little imperfections or the squiggles or off kilter. Makes it look like it's handmade, which is what I want. Okay. So now we'll do this one too. Let's have some fun with these blue pieces. So I'm going to bring out this tearing edge I've had forever. And there's similar ones on the market, or just use what you have or tear it with your fingers. I'm going to tear the edge because we have that really cool white core paper. Cool. I'll do both of them. Now, because this is going to be under race cars, I'm good with this torn edge look, and it's a lot easier than doing the distressing with my scissors, but let's just do it a little bit more. Now I'm going to take our black journaling pen in the .03 to add a dashed line at the top of these. Now I'm going to use a sponge dauber and some of the Bluebird ink to add some color to the edges of these pieces, just to help add some dimension. Okay, I've stuck everything down except for the orange pieces, and it's all really flat right now. The orange, it's really, it's plain, and I need to do something. So I'm thinking I'm going to stamp some of the swirls. I was going to do it on the blue. I'm glad I didn't, because now I can do tone on tone on the orange, just to spruce it up a little bit. And I think I will do the largest one first. And let's pull in that scrap paper. And we'll just do some random stamping. Okay, so I did all the big ones, and I'm going to go in with the little one just as a filler. That looks pretty good. Now the photos are going to be over the top of it. I'll also bring in a dauber and ink the edges to give it a little more depth. Look at the difference. I like that much, much better. Much more fun. That looks like the dirt behind the car, right? Okay, so I'll do this one. Okay, so I finished the layout almost, and a couple things that I added was the title. Really like that. Cut it on the Cricut, and I used 3 layers, so it's the white, the red, and then the black. And I also put these little tabs on the flip flaps, and they work really nice. And this is the thin cut I use that Close to My Heart came out with. It might still be available as a tab thin cut. You could go on and look. And this is the stamp set that I used, and this I think was from the animation series that they had. It's a border tab, and I'm sure it's probably not available any longer, but you might have something in your stash that you could use. And now I'm going to go with this little star to add just a couple more sprinkles of stars around the page. And then of course I'm going to do some white splatters, because I've really become endeared to that. And this is just going to add a little bit of interest, and you know, just to bring some more stars around and sprinkle them in here and there. I think it's so fun to have these little images to stamp here and there. So here's the nectarine, and we'll just bring this in and stamp a few of these around the page. Okay, that looks good. So now we'll do the white splatters. Brought in my craft mat from Close to My Heart. I'm gonna use white gesso, and I brought in a large bristled water brush. It has some water in the barrel. My photos, my scrap paper, it's not long enough, so let's tear it in half. Ooh. The big bristles really give you the paint. It's very fluent. All right, let's actually get some on this panel here. Now add it to this one. Okay, so the layout is complete. Really, really like it. It's very eye-catching. This is something you could do for any kind of competition, cars, bikes, go-karts, any kind of thing where, you know, boy pages. It's really fun. And this is again with that fresh paint collection from Close to My Heart that is so bright and cheery. So I hope you like this. If you have any questions about anything I've used, let me know. My links for all of my social media are in the description of the video. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Close-ups at the end.